let's get a move on and let's talk about Prestige Group's earnings. We have with us the CMD, Mr. Irfan Razack, joining in on the show right now. Mr. Razack, great to have you on the show. Good morning. Before I talk about the overall real estate sector, let me just talk about your numbers first. And it's quite intriguing that at a time when the going is so good for the real estate space, your numbers for the quarter gone by don't spell so, because as I understand, your margins have seen a dip and your profits have also declined. Does it, would you blame it all on the input cost pressures? I'm guessing so.
No. There's nothing to do with input costs as yet. See, this is accounting system is, we are following this Ind AS, which we are mandatory supposed to. So basically, it's all the completions that have happened, properties handed over quarter on quarter. So you have this lumpiness every time. Operationally, I think the company has done some amazing numbers. Even I think profitability-wise, our PAT margins are higher. But the only thing is this lumpiness will come every quarter. Some quarters you'll have a spike, some quarters they'll be flat, some quarters even it'll be less. Because this is a function of one is the sales that keep happening, which we are very happy that has happened. We've probably done the highest in the country and amongst the listed players and maybe also amongst the unlisted players. But coming to actual revenue that is booked, that depends on completion, not only completion, that also depends on the transfer of the property to the actual buyer. So there's a big lag. So that's why you look at it, in spite of that, I think it's about 6,600 crores of revenue annually. And I think whatever we've done during the year, this quarter also has been pretty good. Of course, we've got some exceptional items. If you take that out, still I believe that because we've got different segments. We also got hospitality, we've got retail. Now, hospitality is just picking up. So fortunately, there are no losses. Even hospitality today is picked up. Of course, debiting depreciation in interest, you will see some red lines there. But I think overall, we are pretty happy with what we've done. The team has done a great job. And as far as the residential sales that we do every quarter and the bookings that happen, it depends on what revenue that is booked in that quarter.
How many square feet you've managed to book in your Mumbai projects? You know, when I come to office, I cross the project. Next to my office, there is a new project. Just a coincidence, but I'm seeing your projects on a daily basis now.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, that shows that we are present there very strongly in Mumbai. Now, we did have this launch last week. We had a very good big launch and we launched 3 of our projects. And I'm very, very happy to say the response has been tremendous. We had a good gathering of channel partners, but that doesn't say anything. The results are in terms of bookings that have happened. And all our projects that we've launched, of course, the major one is the Prestige City in Mulund, that we call it the Yogi Hills. That has done extremely well. The response has been very good. You'll see the numbers in the current quarter because the launch has just happened last week. And similarly, the Jasdan Classic also, it has picked up very well. So, and then, of course, the niche market is Pali Hills. There's a lot of inquiry on that. And it's a small project, but big numbers. Even that also, there's a lot of interest. We've just started demolition there. So I believe Mumbai will be a resounding success as we go on. And the office projects, of course, unless we are selling to some corporates, the rest of it is, there's no strata sales over there as such, but those are primarily for completion and rental. Even there, we've started off work. So like you said, I'm happy that we are all over the place in Mumbai. And I'm also happy it's just not being all over the place. It is that whether there is demand, whether it's a real take-up. And I think Mumbaikars have given us a thumbs up.
So your pricing in Mumbai, was it in line with averages, or this time you've been quite liberal with your pricing because it's your first time you've entered Mumbai?
We have to be realistic. See, it's not only in Mumbai, across the country, across every city that we work in. always believe that start with a price which will be the most acceptable, and then as we go along, you gradually keep taking it up. There's no sense in charging someone a price that is very high, and then afterwards there's no take up and there's no demand, and then suddenly you start giving schemes and then you start discounting and then guess the price. That system, we don't have that policy in our company. We start with one price, that is the real price, and then from there it keeps gradually going up. So whoever buys initially is a winner, and I have said this every time. Real estate, whoever is a buyer is a winner at whatever point of time. But it depends on exactly what your budgets are and your requirements are. And I'm happy to see things happening.
Okay. There is a effort now from the government to bring inflation down. Export on steel, duty cut on diesel. How do you think they will translate into real estate price trend? Last time when we spoke to you, you were, sir, almost on your edge. And your thoughts were, look, this kind of a raw material is almost impossible to sustain because somebody will have to take a hit, whether it's the builder or whether it's the customer. But given that now there seems to be a recognition and there seems to be an action, do you think the peak of raw material pricing is behind the Prestige?
No, see, this is what I said. See, we have to be hopeful all the time. The peak definitely hit very high numbers, and that would have really eroded the bottom line. But now, looking at the way things are, it's already cooled off. The prices of steel, cement have already come down. I think that way, whatever actions taken by the government are amazing. They've taken positive steps, and that will cool off the pricing. We had a glitch. I mean, we couldn't stop construction. We couldn't stop buying commodities, though there was a talk that we should just stop construction for a month or two. That's not a solution. But whatever the government has taken, very positive, very proactive step to see that the prices cool off, and that has taken place. That really allows us to sustain ourselves, allows us to see that the bottom lines don't get completely eroded and get us into trouble. And I was hopeful that somehow, you see, you have to be cautious. At the same time, you have to be hopeful. Things have sort of come to a level where at least we can manage. And I believe going forward, things will stabilize and the costs won't go up so high, because otherwise it had gone up to almost 15%, which was very tough.
Look at the Prestige earnings trajectory in last 3 years in the following manner. 2020 was a tough year. All of us got hit because of COVID. 2021 was a comeback year. Demand came back. It positively surprised everybody. Nobody expected demand to come back with that kind of an force post-COVID. 2022, will it be a stable year or will it be a tough year because of pricing and because of inflation?
I mean, see, we have to steer ourselves, but like you really very nicely analyzed it, 2021 was a year where everybody really did well. And I do believe that 2022 also will do well in terms of sales. Of course, the numbers, the profit and all that materializes happens 3 years later or whenever, as I said, the accounting systems. So the basic bottom line point is that we have to keep our eye on the ball and make sure that we manage our costs properly. We are not extravagant. And at the same time, see that we deliver the product that we've promised to our customer. And then see that the company also does its share of profit for its stakeholders and shareholders. So it's a good balance that we have to keep doing. And I think we've done well. And 2022 also, I believe, will be another year which will be really doing well. And since we are all talking positive, people have this belief in buying in real estate and investing in a home. As we go along across the country, there is positivity. I think this trend will continue, and that will be a good trend. I mean, we don't have a crystal ball for the following year and the following year, but at the moment, things are very good.
Okay, and on that very solid note, Mr. Razack, we'll let you go. Always good speaking with you.
Thank you. Always lovely.
Okay, that's the word coming in from Prestige Estates.